Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This will be part 2 on the 2010 F-550 Ford F-550 ECM. This is from Santoro in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. The concern they have with the computer was P0443. So in the first part, I did the repairs, but I've been using for this, from maybe 2007 and backwards, was just at the side, and there was no problems with the actual fault to be removed or erased. But on this one, I needed the original PC or purge valve. They also call management valve. So I purchased a valve, and now I'm going to do the test so we can see the P0443 is no longer present. I'm going to put on the description of this video the link to the part 1, so you can see all the inside of the computer a little closer, partial of the repair and the test that I did before. Now let's focus into the test that I'm doing today. All right, so as I normally do, I have the computer still open, and the scanner that I'm using for this is the Phoenix Max, and the reason I'm doing that is this is the only scanner that will let you do the output test for the management valve without the car running. And this is very important because if you try to use a snap-on, it will not work. It will ask you to turn the car on, run, and how can I do that here, right? So it's impossible. So, I mean, you can, or I can, provide in cam and crank correlations, and I have to get the pads. So think about all the things that I will have to connect in order to just check a valve. So this tool has helped me being able to do that. And if you're a technician, you want to be able to do that also in the vehicle, because why would you have to run a car to check a valve on and off? So it's really a weird setup that Snap-on has it. And it happens the same thing in hotels. So it's not just a Snap-on. All right, so let me put the Phoenix in the screen. In the first part, I already checked the powers and grounds and the firewall reference, everything after the repair. So all that is already tested and working well. And these, you have two different ways of testing. So let's first connect to the vehicle. And I still have the note from here for them. And the V numbers should end in 70477. And we can see that 70477. So that is more for them than for you, but it's also part of what I do in the test. All right, and the Phoenix Max, so tap down, you will enter quick access. That will still give you some pop-ups that you need to select, okay, like navigation present, ignition on, and so on. That is just a normal communication sequence. And here, it doesn't really matter for me. I can click on either one because all I need is to text to check the PCM. All right, we're going to enter in the PCM. And I'm going to go the same way that I did on part 1, so we can keep the same way of, and I'm very methodical. I like to keep my tests the same way always, so if I see something different, I can remember and catch it always. All right, we're going to actuation test. And inside this menu is going to be another sub menu that is going to allow us, and it's called output test mode. And the Snap-on has that, but the next part is very different in the Snap-on. All right, so I click on OK. I click OK, disregard all what it says in there, and I'm going to add data stream, which is, the pits that we can see on all the outputs and sensors. And here I obviously just going to select what we really look for, which is the EVAP vapor management valve pits, which are the 3. All right, so we immediately see something that I did not have when I have the test light connected. The bottom line where it says EVAP emission vapor management fault, no error, that was always in there as an error. And now it's not. So this is already telling me that we are indeed with a completely repaired computer, and everything is now electrically sound perfect for that fault that we have. I'm going to click it on. And you're not going to hear, I can hear here because that is the valve right there. It's connected to connector E, pin 1. All the connectors on these computers are by 4, named C175 all, and all the change is the last letter. So this will be connector E, connector B, and connector T. This one is a 70 pin, and the last two are 50 pins. All powers, ground, and communication are in the center connector, and that valve specifically is in the pin 1 on that connector, the 70 pin one. So we can see that even the valve being on, we have no errors. Okay, so this is already looking excellent. I'm going to click out of here, and we're going to all go over the fold, the fold menus. In here, you got 3 different ways to retrieve faults. The first one is key on, engine off, which is the one I'm going to use. And I will recommend you, if you have a problem with a valve like this, to do that test. Because if you don't have a scanner that can do the bidirectional control like I just showed you in here with the top down, you can still do it here, and it will actuate that valve when it's doing the self-test every time. All right, so let's do it. Before, let me show you that into his folder. So give me just 1 second, because you probably have not seen it, so at least I can show you what we had before. And this is a 2010 F-550. Let me move you over to the screen. I'm going to take the view. All right, so this is the fault that we have. P0443 FF purge valve circuit malfunction, status type FF, and that's very specific to 4. Sometimes it's 00, sometimes it's BA or so, but FF means circuit malfunction. And that's exactly what we are now not having. And I know that as a fact because we already passed that test. But still, let's do the key on, engine off self-test. This is going to actuate like the AC relay, the vapor bend valve, which is not connected, and he has no issues. The customer doesn't have any issues, and I replaced a lot of more components now that I know the computer is working fully. Everything is now all capacitors and diodes and injector drivers and coil drivers and O2 sensors, some other things that are always as part of my full repair to give the customers a 1-year warranty. All right, so I'm going to scroll slowly because this is in not alphabetical, but in order of numbers. So you see how we go from P0193 to 201, 202, 203. So it's in that order. So obviously 443 will be down the line if we keep scrolling down, right? If it's present. And we now see that it's not present because we jumped from P0223 to P0446. The P0443 is no longer present. And that is great because that is already approved that that computer is now fully functional, fully repaired, and the concern that the customer had is no longer present. And we have now the P0446. Yes, that's actually true. Why? Because that's for the bend valve. And the computer is actually telling us the truth. Why? Because the valve is not connected. So it's a circuit malfunction that could be wiring, an open on the wire, a short on the wire, a non-existent valve, like in this case, is disconnected. A wire, a mouse shoe the harness, and no, the valve is no longer there. But we can see that the logic of the computer is intact and is working as it's supposed to. I'm going to disconnect the valve. All right, so you saw how I disconnected that, and now we're going to clear the DTCs. When you clear the DTCs in this specific part of the computer, or a scanner, sorry, it will do the self-test once again. All right, it says it is completed, and it's going to, you see, it immediately start the self-test one more time. And I know for sure now we will get the P0443 in the list. Let's just wait for this to end. All right, immediately, right? Look at that. Perfect, right? P0443, P0446. So I'm going to plug it back in. Give me 1 second. wire is a little stiff and it was a little hard to connect. But well, okay. Now I had the valve reconnected. We're going to clear the DTCs. And we're going to do the same thing again. And this is just, again, overstressing or stressing the same test because I want to show the customer and all of you that this is 100% repair. And this is what I always do. This is the only company in the world. I am the only company in the world that does this, to reproduce a customer concern and then show with certainty that the repair is done and there is no longer any issues with your concern and with the computer. So you can plug and play and you will be happy to know that everything is fine. And if something else shows up, it's because you have to fix a wire, replace a valve, something else is in there, but now the computer is fully repaired. All right, so I'm going to say this now should show just the P0446 and no longer have the P0443. And make me a liar. Let me go back. Make sure I'm connected in the correct pin. Yes. All right, let's wait for that to run. Yeah, you see? No longer, I had to actually exit it. Once it's there, even though it shows it cleared the DTCs, it wasn't cleared. You see, no longer, the 443 is no longer there. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. If you have any computers, automotive or marine instrument clusters, I am your best company. You will be in the hands of an expert. Yes, I need sometimes. I am the only one doing the repairs. I do have help, opening modules, packaging, sending, but the repairs, I am the only one doing it. So please, if you want the best experience hands on your modules, you have to give me a little extra time. And I'm always very good on repair times, except for when there are really old modules. If you're sending a 1990 or something like that, 2000 modules, you're going to have to give time because those are hard to get parts, hard to get diagrams and so on. But if it's 2005, 2004 for force, no issues. I have everything and even harnesses done. So I'm talking about more like a Jaguar or BMW or Audi or Porsche, and I work in all. So just contact me, go over to my website. The name of my website is the same as in the YouTube channel. Just add the .com and you will find me immediately. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.